really love calling myself a digital nomad.
If you have the intention, you can figure it out.
Being a digital nomad is a way of life and not a location.
The fact that we don't have a home is just invitation to like call the world my home. Like have a plan but don't have a plan. Hey everyone, welcome to Dream Creator Diaries, a podcast where we get real on the behind the scenes of what it actually takes to build your dream life using content. My name is Prachi.
And I'm Harsh. We're partners in life and business. We've spent the last 4 years figuring out how to grow online, monetize our Instagram, and turn our personal brand into a full-time income.
That's exactly why we started Dream Creator Academy, which is a passion project for us where we help beginners like yourself figure out this world so you can succeed without losing your mind in the process.
So if you've been looking for the real behind the scenes of being a content creator, building your own digital products, or building something that lasts, you're in the right place.
So today we're actually diving into the topic, is the digital nomad dream for you? Harsh and I are the perpetrators of this dream. We've been living this dream for 8 months now. We left India in December of 2021. So I don't know, by the time you watch this video, it might be even more than 8 months. But yeah, so far it's been 8 months. And we want to talk about the pros and cons of this lifestyle, stuff that you wouldn't actually hear from us on Instagram, the nuances on what it actually takes to live this life, and if you can do it too.
8 months on the road.
Yeah.
Like at one point, this was just a far off dream. Firstly, how does it feel to call yourself a digital nomad?
I don't know. I don't think about it. It doesn't feel any different than calling myself a woman or a wife or a creator. It is another label. I don't identify with a label as much, but I like the opportunities being a digital nomad brings us, where we, like, you know me, I love freedom. I love being independent and I love my space and my alone time. And being a nomad, not having a home, not having possessions, all of that really makes me feel free.
That's nice. I love that. But for me, for some reason, I really love calling myself a digital nomad because at one point, this was a very far off dream, from when you are based in India, in Mumbai, and you are just like thinking whether I can be a digital nomad, how does this work out? There's no one else doing it out there. Or if there is, no one's talking about it. And to finally be able to live this life feels very nice. Yes, it's just a label, but a small kid can dream and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So I feel good about it.
Now that we talk about things that make us feel good, what are more things apart from the label, the nitty-gritties of this lifestyle that make you feel good?
As you already mentioned, the concept of freedom that aligns strongly with being a digital nomad. The fact that you can be working from any part of the world. You can be in Bali, you can be in Maldives, you can be in the desert. As long as you have internet, you're good to go. Oh yeah, you can work on a cruise while going to Antarctica. Like things like that makes me feel very cool. So yeah, I think one of the main things is the location freedom. What about you?
I love that we don't have a home. I think I already said it, but like not having a home can be a source of anxiety for a lot of people. Not for me. For me, the fact that we don't have a home is just invitation to like call the world my home. So we're spending a lot of time in Bali. A lot of people are like, but you're not a nomad if you're making Bali a home. But Bali is not our home. We're not natives here. We don't have a working visa here. We don't have anything that makes it feel like home. We're just travelers. We're just in between. And I actually like that. I like having Bali as our base for now. Who knows what it's going to be in a few months if we're going to be wherever. I like not having a home so that, okay, if this month I want to be in Greece, we'll just go to Greece. Or this month we want to go to Paris, we'll just go to Paris.
We have done that, by the way, already.
I like the fact that we have no things to take care of, no like plants that will die if we don't go back home, or like no possessions that will gather dust and mold in the rainy season. I like having everything in just one suitcase so that I can pack up my life and move wherever I want to.
You said so beautifully. The world is your home.
Yeah.
And our life is in like 2 suitcases and 2 backpacks. It's honestly a very good feeling for sure. So we've been on the road for a while now and we have met a lot of digital nomads as well.
So many.
Along with being content creators, we also have digital products and we're building our own digital empire. So that's one thing going on for us. But there are other possibilities as well. So I think let's take them through what could be those other possibilities for being a digital nomad.
Yeah, like you don't always just have to have your own business or be a creator influencer to be able to be a nomad. Like Harsh was saying, we've met so many people who've been doing this for years, longer than we have, and they don't have a business. They have a job, but the job is a remote job. They're working for companies that allow them the location freedom of not having to come to an office, but being able to work from anywhere. And people are able to figure this out. So what it takes for you to be a digital nomad?
Intention.
Yeah, more than like anything. Yeah, it is intention.
Yeah, like if you have a strong intent, we're living right now in a digital age. So there are so many opportunities out there. Even like if you say that your passion or your skill set is something physical, say for example, dance. People are traveling and teaching dance from Zoom itself. So you don't have to like have an in-person class. Just an example. But yeah, I feel like intent needs to be very strong. The other day we went out for lunch with a couple who's also like a digital nomadic family. Actually, they have a child as well.
Oh yeah.
And they were explaining to us how they do things. And so basically the husband is into the IT field while both of them together are content creators. And he was like, initially when they started off, they were doing IT projects on a freelance level and they figured their way around that. Then they started creating content and now that's become their main thing as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, as long as they had intent in that direction, they figured their way around it.
And they did it with a kid and they're pregnant with their second one. Shout out Field of Visions. Anyone can do it. Nothing has to stop you from doing it. There are no limitations of like, oh, but I have these responsibilities, that responsibilities. Like if you have the intention, you can figure it out. And I think most people like lack that intention or like vision of like, okay, I'm committed to this. Like I want to do this. I will figure it out come hell or high water. I think so many people are lacking in that. They're like floating in a sea, if I were to say it, like a piece of plastic, like just going where the wave takes them rather than being a ship that's, directed towards something, going towards a destination. Intention, yeah. But on a more practical level, money is a question that comes with this digital nomad life is like, but how do you make money? Like, how are you earning to sustain all of this traveling? And most people don't realize that you're not just traveling like you're on a vacation, like, at the hotel pool for 8 hours. Like, that's not the digital nomad life. The digital nomad life is you're working. So we're in Bali right now, but we're working. We're creating this video. We're in a studio. We're not at the beach like you would imagine if you were in Bali on your one vacation. So the money actually comes from working while you're traveling. That's also something that I think some people may not want to do. And that's why I think the digital nomad life is not for everyone, because not everyone wants to be working while they're traveling.
That's such a good point. Like, I know friends who would never open their laptop when they go out of India. An honest fact that if you want to be a digital nomad, yes, you get to travel the world, but you have to work while traveling. Like initially in the conversation also I mentioned that when we are in the desert or when we are on a ship, like we're working there. Yes, like imagine it to be like you're working from a 9 to 5, for example, but after you get done with that, you're in this beautiful location which you can explore. So there is a balance. It's not a full-on vacation. Something has to fund this vacation, and that's where the work comes in.
Yeah, so that work can be a remote job that you're doing for a big MNC company. You could be working at a startup that affords you a remote opportunity. You could be freelancing in the IT field, video editing field, copywriting field. I don't know. There's a million options for you to freelance and have clients from all over the world, as long as you're able to deliver on your work and you have clients that, have signed on for like a few months. So you know that for sure I'm going to get this income. You can figure your way around it. And then obviously you can also be a digital nomad by having a business like we do. Our business is all online. Social media is business for us. And that's what funds are like. That's the answer. People are like, how the F are they affording this? That's how we create content. We make money via it. If you're interested in knowing how to do that, there are some links and resources down for you. That's how we do it, but that's not how everyone has to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, as long as you have intention, as long as you are clear and clarified and committed to on this goal, nothing is going to stop you from being able to be a digital nomad.
Amen to that. And one more tip which you could try out is reverse engineering this whole thing. Imagine that you are already a digital nomad in some part of the world. What are you doing at this very given moment to make that happen for you? And just reverse engineer, like thinking like, oh, I'm really skilled in Excel and I'm a really organized person. So maybe I can help businesses get organized in the back end, or maybe startups, and those are my clientele, and I'll be servicing them. And this is basically, I'm describing a friend's job right now to you, who I just met a couple of hours back. So she basically helps businesses get organized.
Wow, that's so cool.
And she figured it because she was in the finance.
Can we hire her? Because we need some organization.
Yeah, I think we should. But yeah, she figured that because she's good in finance and organization, and she's like, I want to help other businesses do it. And she found her thing.
And now she's also in Bali.
And she's also in Bali. So you can just reverse engineer it for yourself because you have your own skill sets. Every skill set has some value. You have to see that value for yourself.
Yeah, if you're not like seeing that value for yourself, then you can't convince people to pay you money for that. It's so much of it comes down to self-worth and like inner work. But that's like a whole other podcast that we can get into some other time. Okay, what are some things that you don't like about this lifestyle?
Ooh, the juicy stuff. Yeah, everyone just sees the good stuff. Let's talk about the bad things. It is such, and I feel like this is me almost talking about every different thing that we try, but I feel it is such a roller coaster, not knowing what's going to be happening next week or the month ahead in terms of location, in terms of finance, in terms of telling your friends whether you're able to make it for their marriages or not, because we have no plan. You have to be strong that way. Like, yeah, I don't have a plan. Things will still work out, but I don't have a plan right now. So it can be a good thing also, but at the same time, it could take you down a rabbit hole where you start worrying about, oh shit, what's going to be happening next month? What's the plan? Will the money come in? Will we have a place to stay? Where will we stay? And those questions will start bubbling in. That happens once in a while. So I would say like that could be a con with being a digital nomad.
Is that something that you personally also think is a con, or you're saying in general that's a con? Like, is that how your mind thinks?
No, I think that's in general.
Okay.
But then if I said it, maybe it's there inside me
Maybe. I wouldn't think you'd say that, but maybe we can now explore why you said that and what that means.
Yeah, Means that's something I just feel like if I had to look at a con from that angle for myself, must have been that. What would be a con for you?
I don't think there are many things I don't like about it. I really like this. That's why we're doing it.
That's true, but you
If
gotta
I
give
don't
some
like
juice.
if I don't like something, I don't do it. But for you, if I don't know, like for me, as I said, like the pro I mentioned earlier was not knowing. I guess what you are saying
Obviously,
again,
yeah.
like basically what you said, that can be a con for people. Apart from that,
I think another thing is that we are really away from our friends or family. And while we catch up with them once in a while, I'm sure it gets to them that we are not around. Yeah, I feel that could be a big con. Like if you're a social person, you will form new circles when you're on the road. Like we have new friends around, but your buddies from college, from school, your family, your siblings, the touch sort of becomes difficult to keep in.
yeah,
And
that's true.
that could be a big challenge, especially if you're a social person.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think makes this lifestyle possible for us? If I were to ask you to give me 3 things that are like non-negotiables for someone who wants to be a digital nomad, what would they be?
Mindset. I feel mindset has so much to do with it. Like we spoke about intent. There's also the abundance mindset where you believe that anything and everything is possible and there's more and more coming your way. Being strong during the tough times, all of it comes around mindset if you think about it. So a strong mindset. I feel that is like the main thing.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I feel a decent know-how of finance because you have decided to leave home and go on the road. You have to pay for these things. You cannot just go empty pockets. So like you have to understand how to plan your finances. You have to understand how to budget, how to save, how your expenses look like. You have to become the finance person, fall in love with your numbers. You don't have to like go too deep into it.
Like don't micromanage. We don't like to micromanage.
We don't like to micromanage. Like we don't check our bills and our financial statement and bank statement or like today we have to spend only an X amount. We can't go above that. We don't do so much, but we still know that okay, fine. This month is how much you're going to be spending. So we need to be earning a certain amount in this much time. And like you need to work around with those things. Find your fixed expenses. And I think what I'm coming down to is first is mindset. Second is finances, being good at your finances. And what could the third thing be? Yeah. Okay. This you already mentioned is that you should enjoy your work and the fact that you can work from any part of the world. What I mean by that is basically if you have been put up in a very beautiful place, you go like the place is so beautiful. I don't want to work. Your whole digital nomadic life will not function. So you need to be in love with your work as well at the same time. That you can go to a beautiful location and you can for 5 minutes switch off that beautiful location or that vacation mode and go into work mode. And that will only happen if you're really enjoying your work. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you'll burn out. You'll be in this beautiful location. You've fallen in love with the place and you think that, oh, I have to work because I have to pay the bills. That's only going to last you a couple of weeks or months. After a certain point, you'll just go like, I can't keep doing this. I need to find a better alternative. So you need to love your work. From the top of my head, I think mindset. Second would be understanding your finances well. And the third would be loving your work. Yeah, those would be my 3.
I think if I had to add to that, while you were saying only I remembered, was like routine is also super important. If you're someone who thrives on predictability and you've spent your whole life working at one company, one job, and you're like, but now I want change, I want to travel the world, and you go from 0 to 100, like 0 being always going to the same place again and again every Monday to Friday, and then 100 being like never knowing which city you're going to end up next, when your visa is going to run out, how you're going to find places, co-working cafes and stuff to work from. You can't just do that and like expect it all to be rosy and beautiful. Yes, loving your work is important, but then also having a routine that you can bring into your digital nomad life as well brings you that sense of like calmness, predictability, that feeling of home. Like Harsh and I have our cafes that we know with stuff at, we have our gyms that we have memberships at, we have our studios that we come to again and again. So now we're building a routine here. We know the people, we know the places. We don't need Google Maps anymore because we just know the way around. Knowing all of that, having that sense of predictability makes you feel a little bit more calmer and at home no matter where you go. So having that mindset around like, okay, even though I'm traveling and I'm working, I still need to, go to the gym. I still need to eat healthy. I still need to keep up with my friends once in a while, talk to my family every week or so. Like all those things keep you in loop, keep you, feeling grounded.
That's a good point. Routine. Okay, so we have 4 things now. So I just remember this moment in South Africa, which I want to share. This is when I truly realized that there is hidden potential in me. There was like a spark within for more things to make happen. So we were in Cape Town. We had gone for a 2-month trip. But the thing was, this was like before we started our nomadic journey last year. And we had gone with this intention that we'll book everything for 1 month. Then we'll see how things work out. If we'll figure things around it, we will extend our trip and stay the whole 2 months, or else we'll come back early. When we were reaching closer to the 1 month period, I was doubtful and fearful if we could actually make it happen and stay longer in Cape Town. Like instead of 1 month, we would be able to manage 2 months or not. I had a conversation with Prachi one night and I told her, babe, I'm like, I don't know whether we'll be able to pull off whole 1 month thing or not. So now here's the thing about being a digital nomad. Every day you're surprised and you learn something new about yourself. There are so many challenges that are going to come your way. And I feel that is something I really love, because being a traveler is one thing. Like, you understand how to plan the destination, how to go somewhere, how to figure your finances and all. Being a digital nomad basically means that you have to become this moving industry of things and you have to like figure out things on the go.
You're like a firefighter fighting fires 3 times a day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that in that journey surprises you every day about you as a person. It pushes you in that uncomfortable zone. Like, this is our bubble, and it's like every day, ting, ting,
Yeah.
ting, go out here, see what happens, come back.
Yeah.
So I really love that about it. It is sort of challenging, but change is uncomfortable. But I love that surprise that I get to myself that, oh, I have potential to make something like this happen. And that feels good about being a digital nomad in that way.
Yeah, like you get to meet yourself, you get to, like what you said, like traveling is one thing. Okay, anyone can make an itinerary for 7 days, but can you make a plan for like a whole year?
Exactly.
How can you make a plan for a whole year? Because you don't know where you're going to be like a month from now, 2 months from now. So every day you're surprised. I don't know what to do today, but I can do anything today because the world is my oyster. I love that about it, but I don't think that's something that a lot of people thrive in. I think if you're considering being a digital nomad, then you need to be in that mindset of the unknown is my comfort zone.
It is completely blank. Like, you can plan some things out. You can plan the place you're staying. You can plan the food you're eating maybe.
For the first month.
Yeah.
But then what after that?
And when we started our journey, we had zero plans. You know what we told ourselves? We have like some amount of savings. So we were like, if nothing works out, we always have a savings.
Yeah, we can just come back.
And that was our plan.
That was our plan.
That is what we did. And like, people think that we planned like 6-7 months in advance. We didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
We went with intent. We went with this mindset that everything will work out. Everything is great. We two together can make anything happen. And we do make everything happen.
Yeah, I'd like to give you an example of how that's looked like for us these past 8 months. We started with a one-way ticket to Kuala Lumpur. We'd never been. We wanted to see what that would be like. We land in Kuala Lumpur. First 2 days, we realized this is not the city for us. Coming from Mumbai, we didn't want to be in another city. And Kuala Lumpur is this really big city, very much like Mumbai, just a bit cleaner. And we were like, okay, no, Kuala Lumpur is not for us. We had our stay and everything booked for a month. And we're like, 2 days in, we're like, oh, we don't want to be here. So we cancelled all of that and we just booked a ticket to Bali because, okay, Bali, we know, we have all our people here. So we came to Bali, we stayed here for 2 months. We called our siblings. I invited my brother, Harsh invited his sister. We showed them around. We went to Gili a little bit. And then while our visa was running out, it was valid for 2 months. We were like, okay, what next? We booked a ticket to Vietnam. We're like, okay, we'll just go to Vietnam. 2 days before leaving to Vietnam, we're like, Vietnam doesn't sound so good. Do you want to maybe use our Schengen visa and go to Greece instead? 2 days before leaving for Vietnam, we cancelled that. I mean, we didn't get a refund, but we cancelled the plan of going to Vietnam and we booked a ticket to Greece instead. So we booked the ticket to Greece on Thursday. We left on Saturday. No plan what we're going to do in Greece. No plan of like what is going to happen. But we make it to Greece. I'm like researching places to eat on the flight on the way to Greece. So we stayed in Greece for a month and then we're like, okay, we're kind of getting bored now. What do we do? And then we're looking at flight options on Skyscanner. And then we're like, okay, there's a flight to Paris. It's our anniversary. Maybe we should go to Paris. So we end up going to Paris. Then a follower invites us to their home in Netherlands. So we go stay with her for 3 weeks. Then we go to Belgium. And then we're like, okay, Europe is not vibing anymore. Let's go back to Bali. So we come back to Bali. Now it's been 2 months in Bali. And now the itch to travel has come again. So we booked something now for next month. So that's what I mean by unpredictability and not knowing where we're going to be a month from now, because we literally don't know where we're going to be. You know, even tomorrow the bug comes and we just want to go to Skyscanner, book a place. We do that.
And that's how we do it. We're not advising anyone to do it this way because you have to be made of something else to do this.
Yeah.
We also laugh about it. Like, you're in this part of the world and you have over a breakfast meal, a trip to Greece. Like, we were in Bali and
Yeah.
we're like, let's go to Greece.
Yeah, from Southeast Asia all the way to Europe. That's like a 12-hour flight. And we booked it over breakfast.
Over breakfast. So yeah, that's how we do things. It's kind of worked out for us because we are very strong that way in terms of headspace. Once we put our mind into something, we just make it happen. I
Yeah.
love that about us.
I love that too, yeah.
But we did that. We spent like 2 months in Europe. Unplanned. When we started this journey, we didn't know we were going to go to Europe.
It's just crazy what the adventures you get to go on and the things you get to do. And between all of this, obviously we were working. This isn't being funded by our savings. The savings that we do have are for like the day when if something goes wrong with our work and we need to fund our life. We don't use our savings for what we do right now. All these 8 months and the 4 years before that, we've been making money and using that to fund our lifestyle. Although we do know of people who, you know, like have savings, take a year off to travel and then they get, you know, travel the world and then figure figure out a job on the way or freelance on the way to make some extra money. But then that also comes with the countdown of like, okay, my money's running out, and I need to go back to my 9 to 5. But let me tell you, once you start expanding your worldview, once you start traveling, once you start meeting interesting people, very few people want to go back to their old life and go back to their old 9 to 5, because once that shell opens, it's very, very hard to close that shell back up again and go back to society. So it's like, pick your poison. Do you want to make some savings, travel the world for some time, and then go back to your life? Or do you want to just figure out your job and your travels simultaneously together? Like, not one is not better than the other. It's good to know that you have options, that you don't have to do it one way just because someone is telling you to. There are like 100 different ways to do this.
I think you said such a good pointer about the reverse countdown. I have seen so many people do that or think about it like, I will save up for 6 months, and then they start their 6-month journey, and now in their mind they're just like a ticking thing, like, oh, 1 month is over, 2 months is over, 3 months is over. So if you're starting off, create this space of funds which you will support you, like a 6-month saving or 1 year saving, completely your call, but don't be reliant on it. Figure a way to make money on the go.
Yeah.
I feel that's where the true freedom lies.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, because we have met so many people on the road, they went like, I came here for vacation, now I'm staying forever.
Yeah.
I've changed my visa, I'm just going to work from here.
Yeah, so we met those people, and then we've also met people where we met, that's this girl on the bus while we were on the air, like we were going from the plane to the airport, and she was like, I work in the UK, but I left that, I'm on a world trip for a year, I'm running out, and she said, I only have 2 months more left, but I don't want to go back to the UK, so I'm trying to figure out like how to make it work. That's what I'm saying. Like, once you do start traveling and once you get a kick of this lifestyle, you don't want to go back. So instead of like having that countdown, in your mind, just like from day one, start working while you're traveling.
And you don't need to travel overseas or like take a flight which is international. You can start this locally as well, in a domestic trip, I mean. So if you're staying in India, or say you're based out of Mumbai, you don't have to come all the way to Bali or some Southeast Asian country. You can go to the mountains in India as well. Just see how do you make life happen from there. That's an easier start.
Yeah, like go to Goa, go to McLeodganj, go to Kerala, and go there for a few weeks and see if you're able to manage your work, your clients, the sightseeing, and the cultural exploration that you want to do.
Because being a digital nomad is a way of life and not a location. So you
or
understand.
or an occupation.
Or an occupation, yes.
Yeah.
So once you understand that way of being, you can keep changing locations. You might as well not even change location. You might just be happy in some place. The way you function is important. So yeah, I think you can start it off domestically, whichever part of the world you're in.
Okay, let me ask you. You were saying to have a intention, right? You were saying to like know what you want to do and then work your way backwards. What do you want to do? Where do you see us going?
Wow, a spinner over there.
Yeah, Uno reverse.
Uno reverse. Where do I see us going? Honestly, I'm so happy right now in this present moment, like from the bottom of my heart. I'm really loving this life. If anything, I think that we have our business goals, our some level of life goals that we're trying to achieve things here and there. That's all my focus right now. So I want to continue doing what we're doing right now, not have like a base. It's good that we are right now slow traveling and be having sort of a base, but still not a base. But I would like to keep going at this rate while focusing on the goals. So the goals has become the main point of focus. So like the numbers you want to hit in business or the team that we're building, getting abs back for myself. Things like that is what kind of keeps me going. That's what's next, I feel. Maintaining the nomadic life while having a range of things that I want to take off my list or a set of goals that I want to achieve. Are you in alignment with that, or do you have like something else to talk on that?
Yeah, no, as I said, like I like unpredictability because it gives you so much option and choice. So I don't like to have rigid plans. I don't have rigid plans. We literally have no idea what we're doing. But yeah, we do have direction. Like we know the goals we want to hit, or like the things we want to get done, or the stuff we want to have. We know where we're going. That's what gives us direction, and that's what like is moving us forward in life. But no, I don't know. I don't have like, okay, these are the 10 countries I want to live in, or these are the things I want to do. Like that's not the kind of stuff I'm aligned with you, like what you're saying. Like we have our goals, we have our business goals, we have our life goals, we have our personal goals. That's pretty much like what's driving us.
That means like we don't have a plan at the end of the day. We're just going with it with some goals attached to it.
Oh, while I'm on the topic, what are like some countries that are easy for digital nomads to start their journey?
Southeast Asia is the winner in this.
Yeah.
Like we have met people from Europe, America, Australia, India,
South America, everywhere.
And everyone says the same thing, that Southeast Asia is the place to be. So if you want to start your nomadic journey with an international trip, come to one of these countries.
So Thailand, Bali, Vietnam are like obviously the go-to, but then also there's Malaysia, Singapore, which is maybe a bit more pricey or more city-like. Then there's Myanmar and Laos, which are a bit more under the radar. There's Philippines if you love the beach life. There's Hong Kong and Macau and a bit more like, again, expensive countries. But overall, I think like Thailand and Vietnam is like everyone's first step step into trying this lifestyle because the living costs and the traveling costs in those two countries are very, very cheap. Bali, I wouldn't say is cheap. It used to be cheap maybe 10 years ago before we started traveling. That's what we've heard. But right now, we are spending a considerable amount of money living here in Bali. The food is expensive, the accommodation is expensive. Everything is like much more expensive than Thailand and Vietnam. So those places are not even comparable to Bali anymore. But the lifestyle that you get in Bali, oh my God, you get to see people who are driven, working towards their goals. Everyone is like on this journey of self-fulfillment, but then also doing something online, and you get so motivated. So I guess Bali is like our preference.
For sure. You can't compete with this place. Love it.
Apart from Southeast Asia, I think there are also some countries, maybe in South America, I've heard Colombia is like really big for digital nomads. El Salvador is big for people in the West. Costa Rica is big for people in the West to be a digital nomad. Obviously, if you're somebody who's in India and if you're watching this podcast, there's a heavy chance you're Indian or of Indian origin, then those places might be too far for you. But Southeast Asia would be like our first recommended place.
For sure. And one of the major things you want to keep in mind is internet speed. So whichever place you decide to go, just do the research that the place has good internet, because digital nomads, you get it. So you need Wi-Fi.
Like when we were in Europe and Greece and Paris, like the Wi-Fi was really bad.
Our work didn't happen the way we wanted it to.
Yeah, we were struggling. We had to find like co-working spaces to rent a place in because only those places had like, 50, 100 Mbps. The Airbnbs we were staying in had like 2 Mbps speeds, and it was too low for us. Versus in Bali, like the Airbnbs have like 200 Mbps speed.
And you get Wi-Fi at every cafe.
Yeah.
Just like that. You don't have to pay for it.
It's free. So you want to be mindful of so in your research, do make sure that you find out like certain spots that have good Wi-Fi. Even like if you're renting accommodation, hostel, Airbnb, whatever, make sure that they have Wi-Fi. So you're always plugged in.
And just one closing thought is that before you go on a very big digital nomadic journey, test it out for yourself and see whether you're made for it or not. Try a smaller experience, try a domestic trip, or just try going 3 hours away from your house and staying there for a week or two working. And if it vibes with you, then you keep upgrading from there. But if it doesn't, you'll find out. So I would say anyone who wants to start this or like tinkering on this thought, experiment with it first before you go all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's about it. I feel like I had so much to share for this. So did you,
Yeah.
right? So close to our heart. And it's just been 8 months. Imagine how much more we'll have for sharing once it's like 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. But I don't know if like what we shared made sense to people because we are basically just telling them that don't have a plan. But that's what works for us. Like have a plan, but don't have a plan.
So the idea was not to give you an informational thing. It was more like what we are doing right now.
Yeah, like our thought process behind it, how we're making it happen. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to drop a comment below so we know that we weren't just blabbering on and it was actually helpful to someone. And please hit the subscribe button because it lets us know that you guys want more from us. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in and we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.